guys, so today I'm just going to talk a little bit about the whole check-in process and what to expect whenever you check in for your Disney college program. Check-ins have changed a little bit since I did my last college program 2 years ago, so I thought it'd be a good time to go over what to expect and how to prepare for the check-in process and what you're going to be doing your first week while you're in Orlando. So the first thing that starts off your check-in process is your itinerary. Your itinerary comes 7 days before your check-in date, and your itinerary will come through your email, and it'll contain things like your PERNer number, which is your employee number. It'll also say your work location, so the area where you'll be working, not the specific place. So like, for example, I work in Epcot Future World, but it didn't say my exact attraction until I got to training. But it will say Epcot Future World on it. So your area will be there, but not your specific location. It'll also feature which housing complex you're in. It'll also feature what time you're checking in, which housing complex you check in at, which will be at your housing location unless you live off-site. Since I live off-site, I had to check in at the Commons. Other things included on your itinerary will be your casting appointment time, your housing session time if you are living on-site, your drug test time if your role includes a drug test, and the time you will be going to traditions. So for check-in, you'll arrive at your appropriate housing location as listed on your itinerary at the appropriate time, and you'll get your program guide, which looks like this. It's your neat guide for everything related to your DCP, and you also get a little welcome gift depending on what it is that year. This year it was a little lanyard for our IDs. And you also get your housing ID. So they'll take a picture for your housing ID. If you're living off-site, your ID will still have a picture on it and it'll just say classes and events only. If you are living on-site, it'll just be a housing ID for whichever housing complex you're living at. And that's basically all you do for the check-in. After that, you'll usually go to your casting appointment the same day. So for casting, you'll be going to the casting building across from Disney Springs. That's where you'll be doing most of your legal documentation. So your I-9 forms, also your fingerprinting will be done there. So that's where you'll need your appropriate forms of identification for the I-9 form processing. You can find a list of the accepted documentation on the Disney College Program website. So for the rest of your meetings, you'll just follow your itinerary. So for your housing session or your drug test, just follow your itinerary at the appropriate time in the appropriate housing complex. The housing sessions usually only take about an hour, and the drug tests are traditional drug tests as anywhere else. And at the end of the week, you will have traditions. I don't want to give too much away about traditions, but I have done a more in-depth video about traditions before. I will link it right here if you would like to check that out from my last program. But basically, it's more of an introduction to the company, and it lasts about 4.5 to 5 hours. This is also where you'll get your Disney ID and your name tag. After traditions, you start training, and training is different for everyone, so I can't really go into training too much. My training lasted a long time, and I've been so busy, and that's kind of why this video is so late. So I apologize for that. If you want to ask questions about my specific training schedule, you can down in the comments below, and I will answer them in the comments. But like I said, all training is different, so I may not be able to answer some specific questions based on different roles. And with that, that's basically your first week of your Disney College program. If you have any more questions, just leave them down below. And with that, I bet some of you are wondering where I'm working. I told you I'm working in Epcot Future World, but I didn't say the specific attraction because I did not know until training. Well, I know now, and I am working at Test Track. So from now until May, I will be working at Test Track. Training has been a really long process and really challenging, but also incredibly rewarding. I'm having a lot of fun so far. Attractions is new to me, of course, so learning the ins and outs of the attraction is something that has been exciting and something new, and something I'm still very much excited to learn more about. So I'm excited to share this process with you, and if you see me at Test Track, please say hello and come visit. And with that, that's about all I have for you today. I hope it was informative. If you have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments below. If you'd like to ask me about my role at Test Track, please also leave those questions down below. I'd love to answer your questions. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye!